So, I wanted to talk today about not making excuses and learning the skills that you need to succeed. Um, it's so important for us to realize that we can be, do, have, become whatever we want. We may have to learn a few skills along the way, um, but we mustn't let anything stop us. And it's just so crucial to realize, especially in this day and age where we've got access to pretty much every single teaching video on how to do something, something, something. You know, if you want to learn to knit or keep goats or, I don't know, become a violin maker or make a YouTube video, there are just so many um, teaching things, skill set things out there that you can just access and learn from. And there's not even just one for each thing, there's probably multiple for each thing. So if something doesn't resonate, you can try something else. The point is not to let it stop you. Um, I think it's quite easy to stop. You know, most of us have these incredible dreams for ourselves, but we don't get anything done towards it. We just have this inactive dream and we die with it unrealized. And I think that's so sad. You know, human beings are so full of potential. We are extraordinary creatures capable of so much. Um, and we're beginning to realize who we are and what we are. And I think, you know, it's very easy to procrastinate and give in to the excuses. So I would say we need to do a couple of things. The first thing I did, I think this helped me a lot, was I realized when during the day I was most able to focus. Because you have to be realistic with yourself. In a 24-hour period, you're not going to be able to focus at certain times. You know, for me, after about 6 p.m., that's it. I can't make any sense of anything. There's just no way I can start something fresh at that point, or try something new, or try and hit a really important target at that point. I don't even try. At that point, I'm, you know, just chilling. I really am. I'm just chilling at that point. I may be listening to an audiobook, having a hot bath. I'm really letting myself rest at that point. But early in the morning, that's me. That's when I'm doing it. And it's the time of day that I know that I'll have the time because I make the time because I get up early, and I also know I'll have the peace that I need to do what I need to do. And it's so easy to say, oh, for example, here's one of my examples. Oh, I can't record in the kitchen because the fridge makes the noise or the heating makes the noise. So guess what I do? I turn the heating down so it doesn't come on. I turn the fridge off. It's really simple, but it took me a couple of days to kind of get over myself with that, and stop thinking, oh, I need some special studio space or no, in this day and age, we've got enough tech to be able to do it. Yep, it might not be perfect. That's not a problem. People don't need perfection. Just do it. Um, you know. And then the next thing I think is to not only chunk your day into active periods and resting periods, um, chunk your goal down, because it can be so easy to be so overwhelmed by your goal. Um, and again, let me use a personal example. You know, my goal might be to create a YouTube channel. Obviously, I've wanted to create it. I've got other goals beyond that, but let's just talk about that first. You know, if I sit there and go, okay, I've got to create a YouTube channel. Oh my God, I've got to do it right now. I've got to do that. You know, and I've got to have all this incredible content. And no, it is such a step-by-step procedure. You do the one thing at a time, you know, literally one thing at a time. And if the thing you've decided to do that day doesn't work, and you run out of time and you have to go do something else that day because you've got other commitments, guess what you do? You go back the next day and you try again, and you try in a slightly different way. Um, and you don't say, oh my God, I failed, I can't do it. No, I can't, no, I just can't do that. You don't do that. You say, okay, well, that particular way didn't work. Let me try another way. Um, I can't remember who said it, but somebody said that the most successful people are the ones who failed the most. But what they mean is they might fail one day, but they try again the next day in a different way. You know, you can't expect yourself to win every single day. You set yourself a target and you get it done. Maybe some days you do, that's great. But there'll be days where you don't, and there'll be weeks where you're trying to do the same thing every day, and you're trying in a different way, you're trying a different, you know, and in the end you get it done. And it feels so good when that happens. And you can really celebrate, you know, it's just so important not to give up. Um, and for me personally, I think I made the video yesterday about it. The hardest thing you're going to have to handle actually is yourself and your own internal dialogue, your own self talk. You're going to have to cope with yourself. You're going to have to realize that you are going to be the biggest spanner in the works. You're going to be the biggest problem to yourself. The way you talk to yourself, the way sometimes you're going to feel a bit off, but you still do it. The way sometimes you're going to wake up a bit tired, but you still do it. The way your mind talks negatively, but you learn to overcome that talk and you learn to transform that talk into positive talk. Um, you know, the way you come up with all these excuses. I had an excuse recently. It was too cold. That was my excuse. Oh, it's too cold. I can't do it. What a crazy excuse was that? For God's sake, come on, girl. Put your hat on. Put your dressing gown over the top of everything. Wrap up warm. You can do it. You know, I just laugh at myself because I'm just, I'm such a problem to myself, you know? Um, I might miss a day, and it's extraordinary how missing a day affects me the next day. It's like a certain momentum has been created towards not getting it done. Oh, it doesn't matter. Oh, you can do, you know, you could do it different. You could do something else. Maybe, yeah, you know, you don't have to. It's something that I've really realized. I need to reprogram myself every 24 hours. I can't afford to miss a day of reprogramming. I can't afford it. I have to be disciplined enough to reprogram my brain and create the momentum towards feeling good about something, feeling confident, feeling successful about something, feeling like I'm winning, feeling like I'm moving forward, feeling like I'm expanding. Honestly, if I don't do that reprogramming every day, I start to decline. I start to go backwards. It's so easy. I start to stand still. I start to stagnate. I start to give myself, my excuses get the momentum. If I allow my excuses even one day of momentum, the next day is going to be even tougher because those excuses have created a momentum, a bit like a YouTube algorithm. You know, you're like, oh, you give yourself one excuse. Oh, here comes another excuse. Oh, here comes another excuse. Oh, here comes another excuse. And it's just like the YouTube algorithm works. It started giving you whatever it is you're focusing on, like I said in the other video. So I have to be very deliberate. I don't know if I'm talking to somebody who feels the same, but I'll be honest about me. I need every 24 hours to reprogram. My programming is so powerfully in me, my negative programming, that I really have to hit it every 24 hours. Otherwise I just go back to bed with a cup of coffee and play Sudoku on my phone. Honestly, I'm not joking. I really do. Um, but you know what? Admitting that to myself is so crucial because I then identify the real enemy to my success is not outside of me. Because outside of me, I could do anything. I can learn anything. I can find out about something. I can find help. I can do whatever I need to do. The real enemy is inside me. And I have to understand that there's nothing a human being can't achieve if that human being is thinking right and feeling right and deliberately thinking right and feeling right and deliberately making that happen every 24 hours. You know, there's just no excuse in this world anymore. There's skills everywhere that you can access. You don't even have to go to university or college. You can actually just learn it all on YouTube. Honestly, it's all there, or at least on Google. You know, we are so blessed to be alive in this extraordinary time where anyone could achieve anything. The key is to think right. And the other key is to not just think right once, to think right every single 24-hour period. You have to. You have to revisit it again, again, again. You have to build momentum. You have to create rabbit holes that are the ones that you want to go down. And you have to learn how to identify the rabbit hole that takes you down the wrong path. So, every single day, be awake to yourself, be awake to your energy, and use your time so wisely. Make sure you do it no matter what you've got going on in your life. Maybe you have to go to work at 6 o'clock in the morning. Okay, up you get at 4 a.m. Up you get. Do that thing you want to do, then go and have your shower, then go to work. And do it again the next day. You know, maybe you're writing a novel. You're up at 4, you make sure you sit down at your laptop, you write at least seven words. This is my trick. You write at least 7 words. And if you've written 7 words, then you've succeeded that day. Then you go and have your shower. Then you go and get ready for work. Then you go to Tesco's and stack yogurt on the shelf, whatever it is, for the next 8 hours. Then you come home and you cook, you chill, you hang out with your kids, you do the things you need to do. You go to bed early. You must go to bed early if you're going to get up at 4. But you do it. And you commit to it. And maybe there's things you have to sacrifice. Maybe somebody wants to phone you at 9 p.m. at night. I'm sorry, you can't take that phone call. Maybe somebody invites you out to dinner. You're going to have to bring it a bit earlier. You know, put your goal first. That's the important thing that you want to do. So if it's a 4 a.m. thing, you have to tweak your whole life so that that 4 a.m. thing that's happening, that's pushing you forward and making you succeed, that's the thing that's really your priority. Honestly, you must do it. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say today. Any skill can be learnt. So learn and don't give up. Just don't give up.